Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Eric, the Holistic A-Hole, coming at you with a new video talking about a story that came across the Wall Street Journal today titled, let's bring it up, titled, Doctors Urge Americans to Get the Flu Shots Amid Fears Over Deadly Flu Strain. So, I don't think you have to be much of a news junkie to realize that this same story comes out every single year. Every single year there is, about October, November or so, people are going to start getting the flu or start experiencing flu-like symptoms, and the news is going to come out and they're going to, tell people that that they need to get the flu shot because the flu shot is the only way to keep yourself from getting the flu, according to every single mainstream news outlet, which is crazy because yours truly, the Holistic A-Hole, I don't know if I've technically ever even had the flu. I've gotten one flu shot that I know of, and that was 10 years ago. And oddly enough, the year I got the flu shot was the sickest I've ever gotten in my life. And it was probably about like a month. Within the month of getting the flu shot, I think it was a couple weeks after getting the flu shot, is when I experienced, what I would consider catastrophic illness. Although my life wasn't in danger, it was just a really bad stomach thing. But I've never gotten the flu, and I've never gotten the flu shot. So, am I a genetic freak? I like to think so. But, it's really messed up that mainstream news outlets really try to tell people that, the only way you're going to avoid the flu is getting the flu shot. And let's be honest, if you get the flu, unless you are really immunosuppressed or you're old or you have, some disease, maybe you have AIDS or something, you're probably not going to die from the flu. You're probably going to die from other things, and the flu is just there. And people will attest that, well, it was the flu that killed you. Not the chronic obesity or the diabetes or the heart disease or the, asthma or bronchitis or whatever. It was the flu. It was the flu that killed these people. That's the funny thing, too, when they start rolling out numbers, they never also put in a context what other things these people have. It's like, well, deaths are being associated with the flu. So let's run through this and see what, comes up. So California has already seen several flu-related deaths. It does make me a bit nervous. Well, okay, so California... I haven't been to California in a while, but from what I understand, California is experiencing a catastrophic homeless problem, to the point where I've heard that is it the plague? I've heard the plague is coming back. I don't want to spread that rumor amongst my millions of followers here on YouTube, but I have heard rumblings that the plague or plague-like symptoms are making a return there in California, mostly due to the homeless problem. Like, people are literally living on top of each other in camps off the side of the street. I hear it's pretty bad. So let's go to this one. So let's see here. So let's go ahead through this article. So doctors are urging Americans to get their flu shots right away after a bad flu season in Australia has raised concerns about the coming season in the U.S. It's always a bad flu season. I don't remember a flu season that wasn't bad. I don't remember a flu season where after the flu season, news outlets were coming out and saying, oh, that flu season wasn't too bad. The flu season is always bad, okay? And then after the flu season is bad, because you know what happens after the flu season? People die of other things. They die, again, of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, all these other illnesses. The flu season is just a part of life, right? And it's never going to be good. You can't have the flu season and be like, well, we really abided by this flu season. Well, I guess the flu season wasn't too bad. No, because it's the flu season. So you're going to attribute anything that happens during the flu season, people dying during the flu season, you're going to attribute it to the flu. Let's go back. So public health experts often look to the southern hemisphere's influenza patterns for clues of what's to come. This year, Australia saw an earlier than usual peak of flu cases and had a tough season overall. The predominant flu strain in Australia, as in recent years in the U.S., was the H3N2 virus, which generally causes more severe illness, particularly among the elderly, and more hospitalizations and deaths. Yeah, if you're in the hospital, if you're elderly, you're already more susceptible to all of the diseases out there, whether it's flu season or not flu season. If you're old and you're frail and, you've spent 70, 80, 90 years on this earth, and maybe for the last, 30 or 40 have not been good for you health-wise, and you maybe haven't taken care of yourself, or your immune system naturally starts to decline with age, or maybe you just retired and were like, screw it, I'm going on a cruise a year. And you start going on cruises and you start traveling, you start doing all this stuff. Yeah, you just wear your body down as you get older. That's a part of getting older. You're more likely to die. So, great example. Oh, wait, wrong one. Okay, so, and the H3N2 virus. Okay, do we even know the difference between the H3N2, the H1N1, the H2N1? Is it the flu or is it not the flu? Are there any flus that aren't as bad as the other? Like, what is more worse about the H3N2 versus the H3N1 versus the H2N3? What is, if this is a virus and it's the flu and it gets in you, it's always going to be a problem. Unless if your immune system is intact, it won't be a problem. But if your immune system sucks, which many people's immune systems do, because the immune system is really modulated by the health of your gut, by the health of your adrenal glands. If your immune system sucks, any one of those flu viruses is going to be a problem for you. It does lead you to believe that this H3N2 virus is definitely on the move and is changing, which is never a good situation. Says pediatrician Randy Burgeon, clinical lead for Kaiser Permanente flu vaccine program in Northern California. Oh, I wonder if somebody who works for Kaiser Permanente, who works in the flu vaccine department, would be partial to people getting their flu shots. It does make me a little bit more nervous than I am in general looking ahead to the flu season. So you mean that when you applied for the job as, what was it again? As the clinical lead for the Kaiser Permanente flu vaccine program, you tell me when you applied for that job, you weren't outwardly already concerned about the flu? I think that's part of that's like a requirement for having, like, you have to always be worried about the flu. You cannot just go about your day as the, what was it again? The not that one. The clinical lead for the Kaiser Permanente flu vaccine program. You can't be the clinical lead for the Kaiser Permanente flu vaccine program and not be always nervous about the flu season. This is your time, baby. You're the clinical lead for the Kaiser Permanente flu vaccine. Oh, let's bring it up. The flu vaccine. I can't remember this. Oh, man. Kids, don't smoke marijuana. It destroys your brain and your working memory. You are the clinical lead for the Kaiser Permanente flu vaccine program in Northern California. And just now, you're a little more nervous than you always are nervous come flu season. What has there been a flu season, Randy Burgeon, that you were not nervous about the flu season? It's like working for Walmart and not being nervous on the Thanksgiving Eve that people aren't going to just destroy your store the next day. You just know that you need to be stocked up. every day after Thanksgiving, every Black Friday, you have to have your Walmart packed to the gills. You're always going to be nervous about the performance of a certain time if your job is very time specific. And so if you're the Kaiser Permanente flu vaccine program lead in Northern California, you are not never nervous come the beginning of flu season. So ridiculous. So, he says, so far, weekly surveillance status still shows relatively small numbers of flu cases, but there have already been several flu-related deaths in California, which is a concern. Wow. Several? That's a good, first of all, that's a great specific number right there. Very scientific. Well, we've had several deaths already in California. California is what, like the second biggest state in the U.S. Population-wise? Is it the first or second? It's in the top 3, and you've had several deaths. Man, seems like a real scourge on society already. This far in October, we've had several deaths out of all the millions of people that live in California. What's it, like 10 million? Is it like 20 million people or something live in California? And a whopping several. Several is such a great number, by the way. It's like that one nickname for a number that we've never really been able to quantify how much it is. Like if you have a couple, that's clearly 2. If you have triple, that's 3. Quadruple's 4. Several could be anywhere between 2 to 50. It's really more relative because several in relative to 20 million, that could be what, like a million? Definitely not. Several is like a handful. A handful, what do you got there? A handful of M&Ms is a higher number than a handful of I don't know, matchboxes or something. I'm crushing the analogies today. Let's continue. Several. Anytime someone says several to me, I'm all, like, put the lie detector on. Get this person a lie detector, strap it to your balls. Something's definitely suspicious. Okay. The Australian flu season doesn't always predict the U.S. one. Last year, Australia had a mild flu season with several different influenza viruses circulating. What the? Really? Again, with the several? I'm sitting here tripping about a scourge in Australia, and there's several different. We don't even have a number. How are we going to be scientific? How are we going to talk about science and just start using blatantly ambiguous terms like several? Well, we've had a few cases of the virus. We've had several. So everybody go panic. Everybody go run. Compromise your immune system with the flu shot. Get a nice dose of mercury and aluminum and all that toxicity that comes with the flu shot, because several people, which we can't reference any number. There's no study cited. There's no CDC link anywhere to confirm that exact number. It's just several. Oh, so... man, I'm so hung up on this. Several different influenza viruses circulating, whereas the U.S. had a very long season with a new H3N2 variant emerging, says Dan Jernigan, head of influenza division at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So this dude from the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, he's using the word several. Who are these people? What does it take to get hired to be any kind of authority on the flu? You just got to speak in just real vague, ambiguous terms. The World Health Organization has added that new H3N2 variant into the vaccine used right now in the U.S. Creating the flu vaccine is an imprecise science because it's too hard to know exactly which strains will circulate in the coming season, and the virus can mutate quickly. So this is always my favorite. This is always my favorite thing when it comes to the flu shot, because you get the flu shot for a very specific strain of the flu, right? They put a very specific strain in the flu shot, and then you get it, and then there's all these other flus out there in the world. So so when you get sick after you get the flu shot, and the CDC and the news will tell you, well, that's definitely not the flu shot. That's definitely not because of the flu shot. It's because the flu shot can only protect you against one strain of the flu. Then why are you getting the flu shot? Why would you get, why would you get the flu shot? Would I wear a bulletproof vest that protected me from only one bullet? If I'm like a SWAT team member and they had a bulletproof vest and they were like, well, this will only keep you safe from a Magnum 44, a 23 caliber bullet. You can tell I know a lot about guns. I'm so alpha, you have no idea. This is going to keep you safe from a 23 Magnum gun bullet. This bulletproof vest. But if that person's got a 44, a 16, an 8, a 27, any other bullet other than the 23, I don't know what to tell you. Would you? Why would you wear? And then if you wore the vest and it was like really uncomfortable, like it pinched your nipples and it kind of pulled hairs out of your chest. If you're a lady, maybe it squeezed your boobs too hard. Maybe it gave you attracted mosquitoes and gave you mosquito bites. Like there was all these other little complications that would happen with. Would you wear the vest? Why would you wear? I mean, you would probably wear the vest. I get it because it's a bulletproof vest, and it's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to bullets. But with the flu vaccine, probably won't kill you. So it's kind of silly. So where were we? But experts say that even if the flu vaccine doesn't exactly match the strains that circulate, it's still far better to get a flu shot than to skip it. It provides protection for various strains that often circulate together, and there's evidence that the vaccine lessens the duration and severity of the illness, even if you do end up getting sick. Well, we know that's a whole load of bullshit, because you know what keeps you feeling, helps your recovery and helps you feel better if you get sick? Taking care of yourself. Resting, eating the right foods, getting lots of vitamin C, B vitamins, eating lots of warming foods. Really, it's rest. I mean, that's really all it comes down to, because when you experience the flu, it might not be the flu. If you're experiencing like flu-like symptoms, you might just have severe adrenal fatigue. You might just be worn out. You might have just worn yourself out, especially as the changing of the seasons come. It starts getting colder, especially if you're in a more northern climate. You'll start getting the sun starts going down sooner. It starts getting colder outside. You just become more susceptible to the elements, and you're going to start feeling run down. It takes your body more energy, more calories, more vitamin C, more magnesium to keep your immune system working right. On top of the fact, talk about the immune system, most people's diets are complete trash, and your gut starts acting up. You start having more intestinal permeability, so you start getting more of this leaky gut stuff happening, and that completely sends your immune system haywire. You start getting a little autoimmune disease. You start feeling like shit. Your adrenal glands, your HPA axis has to start ordering up cortisol, sending cortisol hormone out there into your blood circulation. You're completely overstressed. Oh, let's keep that. Let's remember that too. People are completely fried with stress at the moment, which is a huge tax on your immune system. So you start putting all of these elements together. Yeah, you're going to get sick come flu season unless you take care of yourself. I have no reason to lie to you. I have not gotten the flu at least in 10 years since I've gotten the flu shot. And the 1 year, or since I haven't gotten the flu shot, I have not gotten a flu shot in 10 years and have not gotten the flu. Not even like a little bit sick. Well, I should say, like come like January, February, when I was living in the Northeast, I would get, and even when I was living in the Southwest, I would get, little touches of things. I'd get like a 3 or 4 day like fever or something. Was it the flu? Could be. I don't know. I would get sick in the summertime. I got sick in July. Was it the flu? It was the same sickness I got in February. So is that the flu? I don't know. Would a flu shot have made it better? I don't think so. because because people still get sick with the flu shot. This article says it right here. It says it right here in the article. If you get the flu shot, there's a chance you still might get the flu. So stop wasting your time, stop wasting your money, stop compromising your immune system and your gut. And look, I'm not going to tell you to not get the flu shot, but I will tell you that if you don't get the flu shot, there is A, no guarantee that you're going to get the flu, and B, even if you get the flu, stop being a whiny little bitch. Get your rest. Drink your whole food orange juice. Don't get the crap in the store. Don't take ascorbic garbage acid. Get whole food vitamin C. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and you won't get sick. Take care of your gut. Take care of your health. Take care of your life. You can check this article out yourself. It's on the Wall Street Journal today, October 17th, 2019. I've been Erik Levi, the Holistic A-Hole. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you get the flu shot? Do you get the flu? Am I crazy? Am I a whack job? Am I a saint? I don't care what you think. But let me know what you think in the comments, because I know people are very passionate about the flu shot. And when anybody talks bad about the flu shot, you get labeled an anti-vaxxer, which is always fun. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.